To be conversant with the development of administration police, we have to look at the War of Insignia. The War of Insignia, which was between Bogwa, who was then the AP Force Commandant, and Oku Kaunya, who was the AP College Commandant. There was so big tension that can be called the War of the Insignia. After they both left the work, Oku Kaunya, when interviewed by a press, was still bitter about it. He was the MP for somewhere in Busia, and by then Bogwa was the governor for Nakuru. So when Oku Kaunya was asked, he was still bitter about the issue. When the same journalist went to interview Bogwa to find out his feeling, Bogwa said that he was no longer an AP, but was the governor of Nakuru. So that is a life that he had lived, and that is life that had gone. Now, what happened was this. I've already talked about the history of AP from tribal police to now the administration police service, which is part of national police service. In the initiators of the administration police started something that is called tribal police. That was in around 1920. This was a force to give the chiefs and assistant chiefs strength, muscle. If you committed, even today, if you commit any offense against, let's say, Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Education would go to the police station and report you. If you did anything wrong in the Ministry of Health, and so on and so forth, they would come and report. They would go to the police station and report. But the chiefs wanted their own police, so they started something that was called tribal police. It was in such a way that if you are a tribal police officer in Moranga, and you found yourself, let's say, in Kakamega, you had no police powers. Up to 1990, the administration police certificate of appointment used to indicate, there was a place where it used to indicate district of operation. If you don't come from that district, that is, so if you are transferred, you go to another district, you are given another identification, which is called a certificate of appointment, indicating that your area of operation is this and that. And as the name tribal police indicated, it was just they had police powers within their tribe. It is only when Major Muya, a former military man, who came up and had them have a college in Embakasi. So during Major Muya's time, the administration police was more or less what in the US they call county police. County police. Because in America we have state patrolmen, that is now the National Police Service. Then no, we have National Guard, which is National Police Service. Then we have state police, which operates within a state. Then we at the county level, they have police, and in in urban areas they have deputies who are in the sheriff's office. Now, to make the lesson a bit easier, is that when they started the tribal police, the easiest example I can give is the example of county police in the USA. That is how it was. Because if you're in a certain county and you go to another county within the state or even within the USA, your police power ends there, ends at the border of. That is how tribal police started, and that is how administration police was up to 80s and probably 90s. But Major Muya had a college which was to jointly train these people together. Yes, you could be a police officer in Mandera, an administration police officer in Mandera, and another one is a police officer in Migori. The training was the same, and so on and so forth. So it was like a collection of county police forces. As things started going on, new ranks started emerging, because during those days, the commandant and all senior people in the administration police training college were administration officers, DOs and DCs. The commandant had the rank of a senior DC, and the deputy commandant had the rank of district commissioner. When they put on the same uniform, you can never tell, but they know it among themselves. Just like the district commissioner in a place like West Pokot was not the same rank as the district commissioner in Nakuru. All the district commissioners in Nakuru used to be senior district commissioner, and they were a job group or two ahead of that. So that is how it was. But the highest person in the AP during those days was somebody who was called Senior Sergeant Major. Senior Sergeant Major. Senior Sergeant Major, he used to put on the same badges of rank similar to Warrant Officer 1 of the Kenya Army. Used to put on the same badges of rank as Warrant Officer 1 of the Kenya Army. Then the second person was Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major used to put on the same badges of rank as Warrant Officer 2 of the military. Warrant Officer Class 2 of the Kenya Army. That is how they used. Those are the most senior AP ranks in Kenya, up to as recent as 1975. Now, in the provinces, there used to be a senior sergeant who used to put on the same badges of rank like a senior sergeant of the Kenya Army. A senior sergeant had two. Each provincial headquarters had one senior sergeant. Each provincial headquarters had one senior sergeant and two sergeants who were deputizing this senior sergeant. Two sergeants to deputize the sergeant. And in all the 42, was it 41? In all the 41 districts, because we have new districts which came up, like Bomet came out of Kericho, like which other county can I say? There are several counties that were created. Tharaka Nithi was part of Meru. So many counties were hived off from other counties or other districts. So those days we had 41 districts where we had sergeants in charge of a district. In from the district, we had divisions. In the district, we had divisions where the DO was, and that is the place where we had corporals in charge of APs. And then from division, in the chief's place, we had APs. I had several APs attached to the chief's office. Assistant chiefs did not have APs, chiefs had. And there was an AP who was called in charge. In charge is like what in the army can be called senior private. So that is how it was. The first team that got their promotion to the rank of inspector they were made inspectors in 1978. They were made inspectors of police in 1978. When they were made inspectors of police in 1978, 5 years later, 1982-83, that is from November 82 to February 83, somewhere there, I don't know which day, they were all promoted to chief inspector. That is 1980. Let us say February 83. Then that was February 83. 1987, 4 years later, all the 25 were made superintendents of police, and so on and so forth. I can't remember when they got senior superintendent and so on. But after senior superintendent, you find that in the police there was a rank that was called assistant commissioner of police. In the AP they called it assistant commandant. Simultaneous with that, you see, as I've said, AP Training College was started as only as a training place, just like our universities. Universities, they give you power to read. So after you have been trained at APTC, you were to go to your district of origin or district of posting so as to be given job by those people. You clear that. So there was a need to have an headquarter in Nairobi, which would now coordinate. Now AP was becoming national, such that you could be transferred from one district to another or one province to another. So they created a rank that was called force commandant, and then they also had college commandant, just like AP, not just like GSU. When I went to GSU training school, we had the two commandants. There was the training school commandant and the GSU commandant. The last training school commandant was Bob Morgan, the founder of BM Security. The founder of BM Security is the one who was the last commandant. When he left service, he was replaced by a Mr. Koskei, whose rank was called Commanding Officer Training School. So just like in the AP, we had college commandant and GSU commandant. The APs had college commandant and force commandant. The college commandant continued only issues of training and whatever, but the force commandant was to have a central command of all APs in Kenya, including the college. So they placed, I don't know who decided that, but somebody decided that the AP force commandant should put on the badges of rank similar to a commissioner of police. Commissioner of police. Before the commissioner of police rank was changed, the AP commandant used to put on the same rank with police commissioner. And then the commandant in AP College, who's Oku Kounya, was a deputy force commandant. So from the way they put on the force commandant also had another deputy to deputize him at the headquarters. So number two at force headquarters had the same rank as the commandant in the college. Then somebody in the office of the president decided that the college commandant should be senior to deputy force commandant. He was given a letter promoting him from deputy commandant of AP, and he was made senior deputy commandant. That was his rank. But then some things, you just don't know who decided those things to be there, because it was a very easy thing. If Ouko Kounya was to put on the badges of rank of a senior deputy commissioner, he would have just gone to the police headquarters and seen how a senior deputy commissioner puts on. But what did he do? He went and put on the same ranks with that one of Mbogwa, Kinuthia Mbogwa. Kinuthia Mbogwa was told, if there is any place where there is songi, it is in the disciplined forces. Kounya put on the ranks like today. The following day, his boss was there. Now he could not salute him because they were putting on the same rank. There was that tension, there was whatever, and that tension, I'm very sure, is what led to Kounya escape into a foreign land. But right now, there is a harmonization of ranks. There is harmonization of ranks such that an AP and a general duty police officer, they put on the, even the DCI, they put on the same rank. There is no such confusion. But it was so tense that it threatened to divide the AP into two. AP's country, you remember all APs had passed through Embakasi and they were answerable to Jogo House. So it brought tension that the AP nearly split into two. Lucky enough, it never happened. And that is the lesson for today.